Good evening. Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to SRW TV. Tonight it's round 5 of our American invasion for the V8 Radical Series. It's Cow, your average sim racer here, together with Chef Toddy on comms.
Much love, legends.
And we're always Nathan Shibby Howard behind the scenes looking after the cameras for tonight's action. So it's been just a quick overnight trip of 126 miles or a couple hundred Ks, has seen the cars and the crews travel to Daytona, where the cars will be tested in a new way with the high banked oval sections and sweeping road course interior. Should be pretty awesome, buddy. It looks like it's fairly warm out on track there, 38 degrees.
It does. I think there's going to be some mean battles here tonight because there's plenty of spots to overtake here. And as you were saying, with the temperature of this track, they've got a 19-kilometre tailwind by the look of that, which is going to be pretty beneficial for these cars also, I reckon.
Well, look, buddy, I mean, we've seen in previous rounds that the draft seems to be quite effective if you, when you're sitting behind someone in one of these little beasts. And we're, almost doing circles around an oval where draft is king at these sort of tracks, isn't it?
Most definitely, and that's when we're going to see some serious passing under draft, under slipstreamers also, I reckon. Hopefully we'll see some awesome action, especially with Matty Jones and Scotty Callahan being back on the track tonight. Hey,
that's it.
Well, couple of weeks.
Well, actually having a look at Dave Unger at the moment, and Dave Unger is actually our current championship leader. He's the one so far that has had a finish in every race. I know that Matty's missed one and Scotty's missed one as well. So those two, are running. I think we've got, yes, David Unger in first position. We have Nathan Verney currently sitting in P2 in the championship. He's about 30 points behind David. And Scott Callahan and Matty Jones are P3 and P4. But we do have 2 drop rounds, buddy. So I'd say the money is still on those 2 boys at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see how it all washes out at the end of the series, hey, once we work out all the drop rounds and all those sort of things, because these guys that have raced every week have still got 2 drop rounds. So if these guys don't know these tracks, they could always use them as drop rounds or use them to better their championship score at the end of the series, you know what I mean?
Well, that's it, whereas, if you miss a round, that's automatically pretty much one of your drop rounds because you've got a 0. And the guys that can make every round are going to be able to drop off their worst performing rounds. So it will make it interesting.
The series is going to be pretty tight, I reckon.
Well, I think it will, but again, we've seen that so far. Scott Callahan and Matty Jones have both showing tremendous pace in these radical machines. Both of them having set an unofficial world record so far this season. So I think Matty got his at Laguna Seca, and Scotty got his at was it Watkins Glen? I think it was Watkins Glen.
Yeah, round 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it's great pace, but I mean Dave, he's our dark horse because he said, I think we've mentioned the last couple of weeks that he loves these cars. He's been driving them for about 10 years in iRacing, so definitely one of the old hands, and his consistency has shown. It's got him on top of the table at the moment.
100% has, and he's currently, with a quick bit of math there, he's 63 points ahead of Matty Jones in the championship at the moment. So, in front of Scotty Callahan, in third place. So he's got a bit of a buffer, but we know that can get eaten up very quickly in 2 rounds.
That's right.
So,
well, I mean, look at
2 rounds of drop rounds. So that's what makes it very, very pivotal point of the series, I believe.
Well, we're in the early part of qualifying at the moment. 6 minutes gone. So far it is Matty Jones sitting in the top of the tree with a 1 minute 44.17. He's got 3/10 on David Unger at the moment. And Tyson McAvoy running in P3 at the moment. So Tyson finding a bit of pace in the Radical. A latecomer to the Radical SR8 series, but flying the performance sim racing colours. So good to see the team captain out there, buddy.
Yeah, very well done. He's had some very consistent drives. He had a bit of a moment last week, I think it was, so we won't mention that one. But Mr. Sinkovic, he's getting 5th in this championships, but I'm very, very impressed with him. so far. So 5th in the championship so far, man. It's pretty cool to see one of the SRW boys in the top 5, eh?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I know that Dean and Stephen have, like most of the drivers in these cars, have found a way to spin them at inopportune times. I know myself, I'm struggling for consistency at the moment in the V8s, but I mean, I think it brings out the best of the boys here in the league that you've actually got to push a little and that to compete here. So you've got such a nice spread amongst all the drivers that generally here at SRW, you're able to, find some people to battle with. So in saying that, buddy, that's why we're happy to have both of our front runners, Scott and Maddie, on the track tonight.
Yeah, so it's going to be a brilliant battle, I think, between Maddie, Scotty, and David Unger there. Nathan Verney's one to watch as well. He's always one that consistently puts down some pretty fast laps, so he'll be one to watch. Also, Stephen Callahan had some mixed races, but he's definitely showing some improvement in the last couple of rounds, which is pretty good.
Stephen's shown some good pace, yeah. Look, again, I think more than anything, we've seen that, just that one error where you have a little spin, and the problem with these cars is once the rear starts to rotate on you, it's really hard to catch them.
Yeah, you're just a passenger by that point, aren't you? Especially
if you
got a little bit of grass or dirt on the back of your tyres.
It'll be interesting to see how these things handle the big high banks around here at Daytona. This racetrack opened in 1959, so obviously since then it's been the home of the Daytona 500, so some consider the most prestigious race in NASCAR. Well, it is, I suppose. And it's also the season starting event. It also hosts a couple of the Rolex 24-hour season kickoff as well for the Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series. Also hosts the AMA's Daytona 200 bike race. So I think bikes would be a bit crazy around here.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it? That would be. Wow.
Like radicals might be bad enough, but
yeah. But these are essentially just two 1300cc motorbikes strapped together, aren't they, with 4 wheels on them? So we're similar, yeah, but I'd rather be one of these than a motorbike around here. That would be absolutely insane.
I think four wheels and a shell tends to give me a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, true. And a bit of a roll cage is always nice, isn't it?
Well, that's it. Well, there isn't much to these cars, as you said, buddy. They barely weigh 700 kilos with driver, so you can really throw them around. But I know that here at Daytona, they were saying up until its construction, Indianapolis was the only track that was sort of, longer than a bit over a mile, 1.2 miles. Daytona here also was the first sort of multi-use race facility. So those tracks that had multiple configurations, this was the first, buddy.
Very cool. It is a very cool track, and the term actually shake and bake was actually coined here by a bunch of commentators a few years ago, and it was actually on the final straight of the Daytona 500 actually. And they actually say in the Daytona 500, it's better to be on that last corner, it's better to be in second than it isn't to be in first, because you can get the slingshot straight through and get the win. But what happened was he actually shook him. He just, as you'll see some people sometimes on the racing line on the straight, just try and break that slipstream in front of him, and that's what they call it. So it's actually, he's broken the slipstream in front of him, and then he's shaking him off, and he's ended up winning from first place off the last corner off a safety car. So very, very awesome, and that's how it was kind of coined. Bit of random fact for you.
Well, was it more than 2 movements? Because remember, they say if you move more than twice down the straight, you're weaving. And race control have a log.
Yep. It was only ever one, and the safety pace car had come off just as they come over to the last corner, and he's just shaking him just a little bit, just enough, give him that split second that he couldn't get the slingshot. So just at that moment, he was just about to slingshot above him. He's just done the shake and bake, and pretty amazing to see. So check that out if you can find that in the old YouTube clips.
So at the moment, we are about halfway through our qualifying here at round 5 of the SRW V8 American Invasion, V8 Radicals. And we have Matty Jones with a 143.93. 1/100th of a second behind him is Tyson McAvoy with a 1:43.94. So that's the two precision sim racing machines up 1 and 2. At the moment, I haven't seen Scotty Callahan put a time. Yeah, so he did start from the rear last week and managed to fight his way through the field and still win the race by a comfortable margin. Perhaps he's looking to do the same this week. I know that something happened to him on the start last week too. So don't know if he's had some technical issues as well. Maybe some gremlins. We all hate them. That he's had to get rid of. So
100%. It's never nice, and it always seems to come on race day too, doesn't it, Cowie?
Oh,
when you get the gremlins, you're like, yeah, everything's sorted, cool. Yeah, I've had a practice race, done heaps of lap, going to race. Oh, okay, cool, thanks.
Oh, I had a wheel glitch last night in the official V8 race. It sent me into the wall. Yep, sent me into the wall. But these things happen.
That is, it's just the way it is, eh?
Wasn't happy about it, but you know, what can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, having a look at Dean Sinkovich at the moment, running in P6 in qualifying so far. Dean's done a 1:45 flat so far, so probably a little bit of time out there that he can find. But again, it's just the confidence of sending the car in. Like, you can see there, he really wants to get on the gas early, and he's actually managed to exit quite well there. And it's all about just having the rear of the car rotate enough so you can open out the corner, but not too much that it starts to want to keep going.
Yeah, and because it's such a wide track as well, and they lower you into a false sense of security, these cars, it's very easy to go a bit wide on an exit and things like that in these cars, or feel like you've got a bit too much confidence to come into a quarter, and then if you get too much heavy on the brakes in these things, they will lock up very quickly. So
Dean definitely benefiting from a bit of a toe there, because he's closed right in up on Matty Jones through that whole section. So it looked like he was a fair way back, but that toe is still, the toe I think is still having some effect, even when you're, normally it's like 0.6. You're within 0.6 of a car, the toe will be generally pretty good. I know we sort of worked that out last week with the F3s, I think, as well.
Yeah,
with,
0.6,
Tyson and
0.6
myself.
and 0.8 is normally a rule of thumb, depending on each car, but yeah, between those 2 points is normally a rule of thumb, but it's, you know, it's probably differs on a lot of these tracks as well, right?
So Dean's done a 1:45.1 that lap, so just a tenth slower than his best time so far. But it does look good. Shibby's found a new favourite camera by the looks here, right on the front splitter, and get to see all of those bumps. I mean, it feels like I'm almost sort of go-karting around the corner here, you know.
Yeah, sitting on the back of the roll bar, GoPro stars. That's pretty cool.
That's it.
I got Stephen Callahan now. He's done a 1:45.07. 0.07 is his fastest lap so far. We'll see what he gets coming through this lap now.
Yeah, we're saying only 0.06 of a second separating him from Dean at the moment. So, as we've said before, there seems to be these close battles up and down the field.
Yeah, having some great laps out there, these guys. Matty Jones, Tyson McAvoy, and David Unger. I'm interested to see when Scotty Callahan's going to come out, whether he is just going to start from the back and give these guys just use the slipstream to his advantage.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen him come out in qualifying as yet, so I wouldn't be surprised there. We're just on board with Callan Hodgkinson at the moment.
He's had some great improvements, hasn't he? And he's one to watch also, guys. I think all these guys have become a lot more consistent in these cars as we've come along through this series. This American invasion has definitely been hard on the drivers, though, because they are much different. Totally different tracks to what a lot of people are used to driving.
Well, so yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been great to see these things run at Laguna Seca, and whereas we have Circuit of the Americas as well, and it's I suppose, you know, you primarily see these things in the sort of smaller tracks like Oran Park and those sort of places, not the big wide open spaces. So the boys get a chance to really open the throttle out and see what they can do.
That's definitely. And try not to lock it up. These guys seem to be well and truly au fait with these cars, so they're pretty good.
As we've said before, mate, they're a beast of confidence. So the problem is you've really got to trust the car to get the lap time out of it, and there's a fine line between trusting the car and asking a little bit too much of it. And the moment you ask that question, she comes back and bites you. So, and that's unfortunately what we've seen. I don't think that, even though we've seen a few spins this season from most of the drivers, it's not really a detriment on their driving skill. It's more about just the prickly nature of these little radicals sometimes, where you just push it that little bit too much, and you go past that point of grip, and then you're a passenger.
It'll definitely teach you a lot. So I'm sure these guys are taking a lot of the things that they're learning from these cars and applying them into other cars that they drive also.
Leon putting a wheel on the inside of the grass there, that wouldn't have helped his the start of his next lap. Again, these guys, this is a fixed series, guys, so they've got to go out there and burn off fuel. So should we see the time sort of start to drop down? And as we said, that Matty Jones has just taken another couple of tenths out with a 43.6. He is now taking a couple of tenths out of Tyson.
Oh. Just coughing. Was it? It's just got a bit wide there. Just got a bit of dirt there by looking at it.
Trying to carry a lot of speed through that corner, so I think, because you've got a big sweeping area there. You can actually run really wide out on that concrete strip there. But again, I mean, these guys are just starting to. They've got their banker qualifying laps done. So now it's all about pushing hard, burning the fuel down, come in, grab some tyres. You've still got 6 minutes left, so that's probably what Matty's doing here now, to come put some fresh rubber on and throw one more run at it. So keep it out of the wall. Might have just been a practice pit stop there from Matty, because he drove pretty much straight through the lane.
Yeah, I just noticed that. That's why I kind of just stopped for a second there.
Well, we've seen before, buddy, the guys don't want to really take tyres in the race because it takes too long to get them up to temperature. And they don't go away that much. So maybe it's the same in quali. You don't really want to spend the next 3 laps trying to get it back up to temp and then run out of time. So Matty's just practiced the pit entry while he had the chance and then come back out on those tyres.
Yeah. Nice.
Do an out lap.
Probably get himself out of traffic as well. You know?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, exactly. Mind you, we've got 10 cars out on the grid tonight, so there's not as if there's a massive amount of traffic out there, but it's good to see that we've still got the majority of the races still with us, and I know that I thoroughly enjoyed the last season that I did with the Radicals. Definitely a fun car, but I think one of the other things we struggle with is that they're probably not a main car for anyone. So I doubt it if any of the drivers here are treating this as their main car in iRacing. It tends to be, one of those sort of secondary cars. Like, I think in Australia and New Zealand, the V8s are generally king, and then there'd be the GT3 guys, and then all those other cars are the ones where you try it out, give it a go. Yeah, that league will be fun. Let's try that car out. But I think sometimes we don't see the level of commitment that you might see with, practice compared to what the V8 boys are doing, spending hours and hours trying to get the most out of the car,
Yeah, and but I think that's what makes these so much more challenging, and it actually makes it quite cool for the viewers also as well, because it is a bit more of these cars that these guys might not be as polished in as other cars, so it gives us a bit more action to watch and stuff like that. So brutally, I kind of like it.
With your evil dark heart there, Toddy, just like, I love the carnage.
Loves the carnage. Safety cars, bring them.
Yes, well, I know Dave is our man who loves these cars, so he probably is the exception to the rule, our championship leader. Did have one round where he was unfortunate recipient of an incident that dropped him down the field. He recovered.
He did very well to recover too, didn't he?
Howdy, John. Could see your comments there in YouTube, buddy. Great to have you with us again. No seatbelts as well. Yeah, they're pretty. It's okay. So you're making the call on Scott Callahan, just making maybe hanging back to let the field wipe themselves out, and he can fight his way through. Are you saying the Radical is so similar to a supercart in the way it handles? That's interesting because that shot definitely gave me a go-kart flashback when we're sitting on that front splitter.
Oh,
Yeah, Shivy
yeah,
will
most
throw that back
definitely.
up
Me too.
again for us.
Just a very, very bananas fast go-kart.
Oh, Shivy's saying we're actually sitting on the roll bar apparently, so.
On the roll cage.
Oh, this is me. Sorry. Okay. Shivy's just explaining that I don't have the updated camera pack, so it's showing a splitter shot for me, but it's actually up on the roll cage. Okay, for you guys. So that's maybe why it sounded weird, but quite fun. And yeah, you can just see that these cars are just whippy, aren't they? Oh.
So cool.
There we go.
Cool.
Yeah, so looking at.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's it. My Cowie logo on there. I might be a
that.
sponsor of Tyson's car.
Look at that, eh?
So, well, I joined the performance sim racing team. I'm also a sponsor. So, but I've got my music brand and that put out there. So, don't know how many iRacers are going to be looking for a muso for their party, but I'm out there, boys. So hit me up. Cowie music.
Why not? Shameless plug. Why not?
Yeah, shameless plug. That's it, buddy.
Exactly right. Go to his
Okay,
website.
so John, yeah, so tell us you driven Dave's supercar, so that's a feeling, or Dave's Radical. Oh, you were on his sim. Okay, I got it now, buddy. Awesome. I will continue to suck up to the team boss, Stephen. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. One of the Sinkovic boys dropping in on watching the stream. So I think you're a chicken. You're not out here in this car. Oh, Tyson just looped it. There we go.
Full 360. That was beautifully done. Kept it off the wall.
He's done well to keep that off the wall, but he's probably only got about 10 seconds left. So if that was going to be his flyer lap, because look at that. Michael Skurlock has pulled one out of the bag as well.
Wow.
He's done a 43.79 and has jumped up into P2.
Wasn't expecting that. Cool. We got an upset here. Woohoo, let's go. Come on.
Oh, is that Dean trying to take advantage of the toe here? Is this going to be worth a tenth or two? Tyson just gets out of his way there. Dean crossing the line with all he has.
4.8, yes. That definitely gave him some advantage there, so he kept his 7th position.
He missed out by 400ths of a second by the look of that. Stephen Callahan.
Oh, he did
400ths ahead of him. Wow, that's close.
That is crazy close. But good drive all round, boys. Good drive all round. We have so what have we got?
Stephen's a fan of Daytona. Yeah, mate, it is a pretty good track. I did do my first Daytona 24-hour, not this year, I did last year's one, and that was the big crazy one where 7,000 or 8,000 people tried to join on to the race. iRacing's biggest ever race, and the servers crashed. When it was going from the practice room to the race rooms, where they split everyone up into the splits, iRacing crashed. Yeah, it took them 2 hours to get it back up. I think several of the big streamers were in that European split, and they were, doing 2 or 3 hours streams where they're just talking crap because there was no racing. I think for us it was like it was supposed to be an 11 or 12 p.m. start, and 10 p.m. start I think it was, and it ended up starting at like 1 in the morning. So it was pretty crazy.
We won't have any of that going on tonight, and we've actually got the standings for the championship up here, guys. We've got Dave Unger in first with 534 points, 504 points separating, so 30 points separating Nathan Verney and David Unger. We've got Scotty Callahan in third with 471 points. So there's not really that much of a bad gap, 63 points between first and third there, and only 30 points between first and second. So Matty Jones behind that in by another about 40 points there with 443. Dean Sikovic in 5th with 438 points. Steve Brown with 390 in 6th. 366 points for Stephen Callahan. 300 points there for Leon Williams with Locked On Black Sheep Racing. 9th is 270, Stephen Sikovic, and 10th would be Michael Skurlock. That is the championship. So I'll hand back to you, Kelly.
Alrighty, so we do have our grid up for race number 5 tonight. Matty Jones in pole position. Michael Skurlock with the BMX Bandits in P2. Tyson McAvoy, the other performance sim racing machine, P3. Nathan Burney, Locked On Racing, P4. Dave Unger, P5. Stephen Callahan, P6. Dean Sinkovich with Team SRW in position 7. Stephen saying he's had to work at the moment. That's why he's not here. The same thing with Greg Johnson. Queen Greg, I noticed we didn't have a Team Greg car out there tonight. That was a bit strange. Callan Hodgkinson is in P8, Leon Williams P9, and Scott Callahan starting at the rear of the grid in P10, so keep an eye on him to fight his way through.
Definitely
Top
using
10,
that
baby.
Yeah, definitely. Top 10. Everyone gets a top 10 tonight, boys.
Should be great here, and yes, so sorry not to see you, Greg and Stephen, but there's more rounds to go, and you're still in the hunt, boys. All right, we are just waiting for the lights to come on and the cars to start to light up. It is okay. We're still waiting on one car to grid. Looks like it might be Michael Skurlock. Yep, missing P2 at the moment.
I'm sure he's just getting his boots on. Maybe he's lost one.
That's right. Yeah, just get the lucky 4-leaf clover out. This can be a bit of a there's those concrete walls up on the big bank sections. You get that slightly wrong, and I don't think it's going to leave much of these cars behind.
Oh yeah, no, that's a very good point actually. Any contact in these cars on the wall, it's going to be very, very brutal, isn't it?
It is, and I think we're probably only looking at one fast repair tonight as well. So the drivers will want to try and keep the car as intact as possible. All right, here we go. The lights are coming on, so we're about to start round 5 of the V8 Radical Series, and they are off. And there's that David Unger that goes, oh no! We've had carnage at the back. Dave Unger has crossed up, and
sideways, and then Scotty Callahan's got caught in it as well. Do you think we might see a bit of a safety car here by the look of this?
I'm speechless of what happened just there. It almost looked like it would be like a wheel glitch or something for it to shoot right like that. But we will
something very similar to that in the F3s, didn't we, last week as well?
What we did with Dave Coleman, correct? That was right.
And it looked a very similar situation, like it wasn't his fault, like it just magneted together almost.
Well, I know some of the guys were talking about it was, if you've got your wheel buttons set up a bit, well, you might have a second clutch set up with a different button, and if you don't get that right, it can throw it out. We'll have to have a look at that when we can, but the field is already spaced well out with the top 3 seconds ahead of safety car is coming out. Here, the promo department. Also need to thank our sponsors, as My Beref. I haven't mentioned them tonight, so thanks once again to DSL Welding Services and the promo department. Safety car. All right, let's have a look at the start and see what happened here. So it was Dave Unger, I think, is the car we want to have a look at, buddy. There's something happened right there. Okay, so it's like the rear end of the car has just stepped out, and he's taken out. Is that Nathan Burney?
Yeah.
He's got taken there, and was that Leon Williams got caught up in that, or Scott Callahan got caught up in that? I think it's Scott Callahan that got caught up in that.
The top 3 in our standings of that championship all got caught up together at the start of this race, guys. So that's a big news for the Radicals now. There's going to be a big push from all 3 of these guys.
Got an awesome start, and yeah, look, just nowhere to go. Oh, yep, nowhere to go for Scotty.
No way. We see Nathan Verney getting flipped in the air there as well. That would not be a fun time inside of Nathan Verney's car, especially if he's in VR.
But yeah, I know Tyson got a great start here, but Nathan was just a passenger there, nothing that could be done. But
these Radicals, they just scoop them up, don't they? Just scoop a car up and flip it.
So just wonder if Dave got on the gas too hard and that stepped the car out, but Well, that may cost our championship leader at the moment because that may end up with a penalty tagged on top. So, but we'll have to keep an eye on. Oh, okay, yes, I can see that. There's a tip from Stephen Johnson. Says the tip: don't hit the safety car. Yeah, I think you found that out on Sunday, buddy. There, that comes with penalties.
Yeah.
Look, it's going to be interesting. I think powerful cars in this track. I don't know if they're super powerful car, but they're just light and nimble. So, and yeah, backslides down the track. I see what you're saying, Greg. Yep. So, and that's what's happened. The back of the car sort of slid down, and it's just stepped up into Nathan there. So,
I see, because they're starting on the banking, weren't they, essentially? With that camber on the track.
Oh, race control just announcing something there, I think.
Oh, and he just caught the end of that, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I missed it as well myself, buddy. Yeah. But he's got them just bunching up behind, so I have to see if any of those cars are still sporting damage or if they've managed to use the time to go in and get the fast repair.
Yeah, Matty Jones out in the lead with Tyson McAvoy behind him. And then Michael Skurlock in third currently. So Dean Sinkovich has profited the most out of everybody, mate. He's up 3 spots from 7th. So he's definitely profited from this. I don't like to see people... that's not the way you want to make up spots, you know what I mean? But, you'll take it when you can get it, right?
Didn't we throw a joke before or something about Toddy loving the carnage? Well, we barely got started, mate, and it already came out.
Mate. Oh, bloody hell. I shouldn't have said anything. I jinxed you boys, so didn't I? I apologise if I jinxed you.
So it looks like, was that Scott Callahan going in to get his fast repair, I think? Fix that car.
Looks like
I think maybe the rest of... he'll just have to wait until everyone goes by before pit exit opens.
Here we go. Looks like they're just trying to keep that warmth in the tyres. They don't want to cool. They don't want these tyres to cool down in these things. They don't want to get back on that first open lap and then lock it up into the first couple of corners, do you?
Well, I don't know if they had that much of a chance to heat up to begin with, maybe just from what they were into the tyre warmers. But we'll see. At the moment, I think we're still... Is it Scott and Nathan are catching up to the back of the field now. So both of them have gone in and taken their fast repair. So they'll have to stay pretty clean for the rest of this race. Tyson McAvoy, nice little jump there. He can sit and ride shotgun for his teammate Matty out front. So it'll be interesting.
You boys, eh? Look at that. Yeah. Your teammates there, Cowie. Both your teammates there out in the lead, 1 and 2.
Well, they're flying the flag, mate. I know I haven't been at the moment. I've had a couple of shockers in the Super 2s of recent times, but,
That's why that's why you're a team, right?
So I can sponge off their good driving. Yeah, I suppose, buddy. You're right there.
No, we all have up and down days anyway, mate. Sometimes you have a good race, sometimes you have a bad race. You can't get down about it, So
I wasn't down about it. I was thinking about it the other day, buddy. But I think that the racing has been so good here at SRW that I'm finding I'm having to push harder to race. And when you're pushing harder, you will make more mistakes. The idea is to learn from them. Oh, we're going to drag Tyson in for a quick chat. Yeah, we can drag him in.
Cars coming out at the off at the end of this lap. Race control just said as well.
So, all right, got him quickly. Nah, we'll leave him. Well, we better leave him there because they're about to go green at the end of this lap. So we might try and have a chat to any one of the guys if there's another safety car. We should have thought about that a bit earlier, maybe. But what's the fuel strategy? Surely Tyson can talk and drive. Okay, you're after hints there, Stephen. Well, it will be interesting. I think we've seen that these cars can sort of get home with one pit stop, and it seems to be, tyres are very much optional. So Got to see how we go, how they All right, the safety car is pulling away, and control has been handed back to Matty Jones, the race leader, and he's gone early by the looks of it. He has.
Nice move.
Tyson's just trying to break the toe there a little bit, I think, as Michael Skurlock closing in. All right.
I think if it's trying to defend there to Stephen Callahan. Stephen Callahan's definitely got some pace as well, so we'll see a bit of a battle behind them going on. We've got Dave Unger down the back here. Oh, it's Scotty Callahan and Nathan Verney at the back here, our top three in the championship.
Well, Scotty is pushing hard here, trying to go around the outside. He will have the inside for the next section to the left-hander. But looks like he's slotting in behind.
Is he going to be able to make this happen? I think he will, but Dave Unger's definitely making that little radical pretty wide, isn't he, Kelly?
Well, I think that, it's going to have to do a little bit more than just poking his nose up there to rattle Dave's cage. But we have seen that Scott has got great pace in these machines. So, can Mr. Consistency keep behind the hotshot quick guy behind him?
Exactly right. But, that said, Scotty Callahan wouldn't be a bad person to have in front of you to just sit on the back of, especially around Daytona. So, if you were going to tow behind somebody, it's definitely Scotty you want to be behind.
Right, so the race control has advised that they do have the start of the race under review. So we did flag that Dave could be in a little bit of trouble with race control, but we will see what they've got to say.
Big shout out to race control. We definitely don't envy your job. It must be very, very difficult.
I was able to have a nice, calm conversation with them before tonight's race, and that was after copping my own penalty on Sunday. So if I can wear it, I'm sure these guys can too.
Yep, 100%. And look at this coming on.
Oh, look at that.
Look how strong that draft is on Callan Hodgkinson at the back here, Dave Unger. Scotty Callahan taking the inside there. Callan Hodgkinson running wide.
I think he got bullied by two of them then. I think he got bullied by two of them then. So, pretty fast.
Well, that would be a lot of pressure having those three guys behind you, the championship leaders, top three in the championship behind you. It would not be a small amount of pressure you'd be feeling on the first couple of laps, right?
That's right. So, I don't believe there was any contact or anything there. I think it's just they put the pressure on and he ran a little bit wide and opened the door.
Yeah, so it just seemed like he was trying to give him space, but I would have given him a little bit too much space. But he didn't seem to have lost too much pace there, so he'll be able to jump on the back of those guys anyway, Nathan Verney, and try and stay with those guys for a little bit to try and use them to their advantage. But Stephen Callahan here against Dean Singovich here, look how big how powerful the toe is, mate. That's insane, right, Cal?
Look at how deep they're braking though. I think they're braking after the one board there into the bus stop chicane. Yeah. So that's fairly committed in these little cars.
Oh, definitely. Because of the risk of locking up also. He's got race control on the radio right now, Kelly.
Yeah, it does look like Dave Unger has been issued a drive-through penalty, so we thought that might happen.
Yeah, seems like it was, so it must have been just a bit of driver error off the line.
Oh, Dean has done well there. He held a deep line on the outside there and has maintained some good speed. Scotty unable to get up the inside of him there. One of the things you talked about, there's nice wide track here, buddy. It means that we can have sort of multiple racing lines. Oh, Scott Callahan trying to go up the inside here of Stephen Callahan. We still don't know if these boys are related. I think they are, but we'll have to confirm that at some point.
Yeah, we should, hey, yeah. We always mean to.
Oh, that's a nice big deep move there. But again, look at that. They've been able to go two roads. So he got well and truly up the inside there. And Stephen was able to drive around the outside and retain the position. So
just goes to show how much space they actually do have to drive here. And these guys can break a bit of draft. If you've seen with Stephen Callahan is there, he's just gone on his exit. He's gone slightly wider just to break that draft for a small amount on the exit of that corner, so he can try and build up a bit of a gap so he can get so much.
Nathan Verney getting a run on Dave Unger. I don't know if I don't think Dave necessarily just let him through there. It was just a good run. Look at that, braking just before the 1 board, so they're going deep. In the V8 supercar, you're braking before the 2 board.
Wow.
Probably about the 3. Actually, no, you're probably braking at about 3.5. I think it is 3.5 you brake at, yeah. So.
Wow. It's definitely one of those tracks that you definitely have to drive it differently, a lot differently in different cars. Like braking points, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, yeah.
I jumped out on here in the safety car as well, and I was like, man, this is so easy in the safety car.
Looks like Dave is going in to serve his drive-through penalty now. Or is this Scott Callahan looking trying to get up the inside of Dean Sinkovich?
He's closing the door there.
Managed to get Stephen, though, in the process, so just carrying way more speed than those 2 cars into turn 1 there, and confident under brakes. Already has carved his way up from 10th to 5th position.
Dean just trying to make that SRW TV car very wide to try and fend off Scotty here. But we'll see if he can fend him off. Oh no, he hasn't. He's made the move down the inside here. Stephen Callahan behind here. So Dean, Scotty Callahan has gotten in front of Dean Sinkovich now. Then we've got Stephen Callahan behind him. So Scotty Callahan definitely on the push up through the pack now. He started from the back of the pack, didn't do a qualifying time, and he's up into 4th now. So up 6 positions now, guys. After that bit of an incident, he had nowhere to go at the start.
He's fast. We know he's fast. And, you know, if he started at the back tonight to avoid the turmoil, well, that didn't work for him because he got caught right up in it there with Dave's spin off the start line. And here we've got is that Nathan Burney looking to make a move on the inside of Stephen Callahan. So Nathan, the unfortunate recipient of what happened on the start of the race, is now fighting his way back with a nice, clean, fast repaired car.
He's got some serious pace now. He looks like he's got something to prove as well.
It's a good little battle pack here. Good little battle pack here, and it means that these guys are getting the draft, and I think the draft's going to be even more effective with more cars in and around in a pack. So they'd be all sort of punching a little bit bigger air, a hole in the air as running together. We can see at the moment Matty Jones out front with 1.2 seconds. Oh no! Nathan Burney's
pushing hard.
That's
slightly overdriving the car, I reckon. Maybe just try to get his time back.
We've spoken about it time and time again that these things they feel great until you hit that cliff. That is the grip.
Most definitely. All the grip and then none of the grip.
That's it.
Scotty Callahan, we knew that he'd be fighting very, very quick, but it's very impressive to see that battle back, and he's already had to go into the pit and get a fast repair and all that sort of stuff as well. So Scotty Callahan really doing well to get back up.
Safety car has been held. I was having a look at Michael Skurlock now, currently running P3, 1.5 seconds behind Tyson McAvoy. Yep, looking at the leaders now for you, Trevor, so we're going to keep an eye on this battle up front. But at the moment, it's Performance Sim Racing Machines 1 and 2. And Michael Skurlock running P3.
And with the best lap as well with a 1:43.57 so far. That's quick in race time. Bloody hell.
Is that Skurlakin is Michael's team name, so they keep that. So we've also got another incident under review, lap 5, turn number 1. Is that the Nathan Verney, Dean Sinkovich moment? The race control is on it tonight, and they will be reviewing. So we'll stay tuned.
Matty Jones having some great laps out there. He's got best lap of the race so far, and he's out in front. He's punching his own hole, and he's still leading these guys. But you can see in the distance here, Scotty Callahan absolutely on the push. But Scotty Callahan has just done a even faster lap by 3 thousandths of a second, actually. So Scotty Callahan is slightly 1/10 actually. So he's got a little bit on him.
All 4 of our front runners are lapping in the 143s at the moment. Nathan Burney pulling out a 143.6 as well, running back in P6 thanks to that little spin. So, but still showing pace back there. But now as sort of things are starting to even out, we are 9 laps into the race. So
what a great camera work! That's a great shot, Jibs.
Almost a third of the way through the race, and so everyone's sort of starting to get into their groove, and settle in for the long haul here at Daytona.
I think so, and we'll have as you were saying about those battle packs earlier as well. These guys have started to top 4 has started to build up a bit of a gap, but as these guys kind of try and stay in a bit of a battle pack, we should hopefully see these battle packs kind of come together. Hopefully, if they could stay together.
Well, it's one of those
tracks that lends itself to being big gaps, right?
Well, I think so, but as you said, you know, I think if you're within a second of the car in front, then you're going to benefit from a little bit of the tow, and you know maybe that's enough to sort of just get you up on the back of that car in front. So I don't think it's not over until it's over, and you know I think you've got to get outside sort of that 1.2 gap before you sort of start to get to a point where you're breaking the toe of the car behind, or for the car behind, I should say.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we won't see anybody changing tyres. Daytona doesn't seem to be. Track conditions seem to be pretty good for tyre wear. Would you agree, Kelly?
Well, it's warm out there. It's 34 degrees, but it's not scorching hot, so that won't chew them up overly. I think the banked sort of sections like they're running through at the moment tends to sort of, you know, even out the load on the tyres. I mean, if you were constantly going around in a circle, then you know, those outside tyres would be copping a caning. But I think there's enough little kinks that mean they do get a little bit. They get a little bit of a break, is what I was sort of thinking. You know, so you're not constantly putting load on the tyres for the whole race.
Yeah,
but still, and the other side of it is that these things only weigh 700 kilos. So, you know, even if they're pulling 3 or 4 G through a corner, you're not putting hundreds of kilos. Or sorry, thousands of kilos through the tyres, you know, at various points. So they tend to be fairly. Look, I think like anything, the tyres have their peak operating window, and they would start to go away. And we've seen a few mistakes near the end of some of our races this season because of that, where the tyre wear has just gone a bit too much. I think the problem is when it takes 3 or 4 laps for the tyres to get up to temperature. It's those laps that you're sacrificing to have, you know, better rubber, but you've got to put up with them for 3 or 4, and it really means you can't take an advantage of an undercut or an overcut because you're spending too long waiting for the tyres to come up to temperature.
100%. Beautiful. I've got with the Wash Me livery. I do like Scotty's Wash Me livery.
Well, he is closing up and on the back of Michael Skurlock now, and he is within 0.6, so definitely getting a benefit of the tow from the car in front. And we'll have to see that he's already shown that he can brake fairly late in these machines and has a propensity to want to send it, but does it with supreme control. So look at that, again, closing right up. And now right into the tow with a better run. I don't even know if he's going to need the tow with the run that he just got out of the bus stop chicane there. And you can see that Michael's just decided to get out of his way and not fight it too hard. Well, the boy's just talking on the radio about letting him through. So there you go. I don't know if you really needed to do that, Michael. Could have kept the fight. We want to see battles.
Yeah, make that thing wide, make it harder for Tyson and Matty Jones up ahead. But Tyson's getting the pressure now from Scotty. He's really up in his gap.
I can't see Tyson being quite as generous as Michael was in letting Scotty through there. He's going to be trying to be as much of a barrier for his teammate out front as he can. Already, Matty Jones has taken the opportunity to skip forward to a 3.3 second gap now.
Tyson's just trying to put his elbows out as far as he can and try and make that radical as wide as he can. Try and slow it down. Slow Scotty down at least a bit for his teammate at least, and keep him behind him for as long as he can. So I'm sure Tyson will be feeling some pressure right now, but he seems to be able to keep this gap all right at the moment. But Scotty does have a massive draft on him here. He's going to be able to slingshot through on the outside. He's going to take the outside. He's going to take the inside. Where is he going to go? Oh, he's going on the outside. Oh, is he going to make it happen? No, he's not going to have enough time before this braking point. Oh.
Tyson just wanted to make sure that he had the inside run for the bus stop chicane here, but Scotty having another attempt here. Tyson's actually looks like he's found his feet in the V8 radical, and definitely having a better result tonight. He's had a couple of spins in the last couple of events. They're running P2 now. We'll see if he can hold Scotty Callahan off.
The course is strong with this one. Wow, way.
Oh,
that was close.
So now we've seen before that you can drop around the outside in these cars, and he has done that.
Sent him a little bit wide. There was almost a bit of contact there between Scotty and Tyson, but they've kept it apart there, guys. Oh, there's a lot of aero wash you can see off the side. That sort of aero wash off the side as he's trying to make that pass under brakes. Is very well done from Scotty, but it would have been difficult.
Well, same thing, but you were talking about before, buddy. This track is wide enough, and these cars are small enough that there's multiple lines you can take through a few of the corners, and that gives us that great side-by-side racing. As we look at Nathan Verney pressing hard on Stephen Callahan now. Nathan recovering from, he's a big wide line there, but he's able to get a slingshot around the inside. There, perfect example of two different lines there, Toddy. Look at that.
Yeah, perfect. It's a lot easier to do the over and unders and all that sort of stuff. And he's taking a bit wide there, Stephen.
Yeah, had to get out of it, and Nathan said, thank you, I'll take that spot. Up into P5 now.
Oh, Nathan Verney on his comeback now as well.
No, it's Michael Skurlock. So Tyson having, Scott Callahan having to clear of Tyson. That little battle for half a lap there has now brought Michael back into it, and now he's going to benefit from the tow, buddy.
Oh, come on, let's go. This is what we're talking about. Come on. Keep this top four. I mean, no Nathan Verney's got the pace to catch these boys, so we might even look at this. We might have a top 5 pack here with a bit of a battle towards the end of this race. It's so awesome, isn't it?
Well, Verney's 9 seconds behind, so he's got to keep putting in big numbers to catch up. There still is plenty of laps left. We are only on lap 14 now of 35 tonight. So
one lap to bridge that gap, I reckon it can happen. We've seen stranger things have happened, and we've seen these guys bunch up quite a bit already. So here we go.
Well, it's the battle, If Tyson and Michael start fighting, then that's going to give Nathan a chance to catch up onto the back. We're also going to keep a close eye on the battle up front. Matty Jones putting in some stellar laps at the moment, taking a couple of tenths out of Scotty Callahan over the last couple of laps, and the gap is now out to 3.9 seconds. So
nice. I saw a little bit of a lock up there just a couple of corners before on the entry from Scotty Callahan as well. Look like a
little spin there. She's pushed hard, and that's
a lock up.
Is that a chink of the armour we've seen from our hot shot racer out there? Scotty Callahan has shown he's fast in this, and I think that's the first sign of that there might actually be a human being driving that machine.
Wow, we never thought it, did we? Here we go. I'm sure he'll bridge this gap quite quickly though. He's got the pace, but Tyson's definitely got a bit of breathing room now, so Tyson would be feeling a little bit more confident now and a little bit less pressure.
Well, the battle's close here. I can't see Michael getting out of it this time. He's going to be trying to take full advantage of it himself. But will we see him 3 wide in turn 1? He has let Scotty back through again, and now looking to switch inside. He's going to do his pit stop. Well, that's an interesting tactic. Pitting nice and early here.
Very interesting, eh, Kelly? I suppose it's very early pit. Maybe he knows something we don't know.
Oh,
around the outside.
Scotty going around the outside again. A little bit of contact. Oh, no! Oh, no.
Big contact. Was that from the contact, or was it
there was
both?
I think there was contact there, but the boys were racing close and hard. I'd say that's...
It seemed like he copped a bit of he might have got a bit of grass on the outside, which sent his car a little bit sideways because it seemed like Scotty Callahan's the front of Scotty Callahan's DSL
right.
Action
Well,
Welding Services
we've
Action
got a big
Replay.
moment here. So he. All right. So a little bit of a tap there. I don't know if there was anything major in it there, but I'd say that contact is going to probably have Tyson in a bit of trouble. But we will leave it with race control to advise, I suppose. That's what we pay them the big bucks for. Yeah, look, and again, it could be netcode there involved as well. Anytime the cars get close together like that, the chances of netcode can happen. But
didn't look like there was anything malicious in it. It just seemed like there was something
I
strange
think
in it.
like Scotty just got a bit wide on and didn't. I think maybe Tyson got a better run out of T1, but again, we can talk about it, buddy. But
Yeah,
it's not our
not our
job.
decision to be made, is it? So
That's it, mate. And but that rear wing's looking a bit bingled, and that's going to make it quite hard for Scott. I'd say he's probably already used his fast repair. Tyson coming into the pits as well. We're going to have another look, are we? Okay, so this time on board with Tyson.
Race control's just come over and said it's under review.
Yeah, see, I mean, whether they touched there or not, or it was net code, it's close, but they're the incidents that can define races. As that Scotty coming in again, maybe he does have a fast repair. We'll have to keep an eye out. Doesn't look like that car is quickly.
Itself.
We may be looking at a retirement, possibly.
That's a very hard hit.
Or the car, it may have a meatball and it's going to require some repair. So we'll have to see how that goes, but that's unfortunate. Matty Jones now 16 seconds ahead of Nathan Verney, who finds himself in P2. Oh no, Dean Sinkovich has lost it. Lost the rear of the car again, but he has managed to keep it out of the wall, so it's still going.
Still got it up there. He's still racing it. So he's.
Well, you wanted drama tonight, Todd.
I
That's
did.
pretty drama packed, buddy.
I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it. I didn't think it would be this drama packed. Like I didn't think that would all happen with all our top three guys in the championship, and plus Scotty. I wouldn't think that would have happened to Scotty as well. So yeah, we'll see it towards the end of the race and see how it all comes out of review and that sort of thing. But see or how it comes out in the wash by the end of the race, eh?
Well, it's turned things on its head at the moment. Stephen Cullen, Matty Jones in first position with a commanding lead now.
And
Nathan Verney in P2. We have Stephen Callahan in P3. Yep, Dean Sinkovich in P4. Cullen Hodgkinson in P5. David Unger, after serving a drive-through penalty, now in P6. Oh no, is that Nathan Verney who has lost it at the exit of turn 2 by the looks of that? Just again, getting on the gas maybe a little bit too hard.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's had a few races in the past that he's kind of he's had a bit of trouble at the start. He sometimes gets a bit heavy on the accelerator on exits, I think.
Oh, I don't
get the time back.
As I said, I don't know if that's really the case. I think it's just these things. There's a cliff for grip, so you can run right up to the edge of it, and once you go and put a toe over it, the rear end just rotates around on you, and it is so hard to catch them. They can be a hard car to really catch the rear once it lights up and starts to go on you. But now, that's putting it a fair way back, has spread the field out now, and Tyson McAvoy running back in P7. Looks like we might have actually lost Scott Callahan for the night, or that car is too damaged that he's going to be in the pits for a while. Already a lap down, so that is unfortunate.
Yeah, he's been in the pits for quite a while, for quite some time already, so it was a very, very hard hit. So the back of it, big hit on the front of it, and then it went into the back of it as well, didn't it? So
it was a light tap. All right, race control just advising what's happened. Okay, so Oh no, that Dean Singovich bouncing up into the wall, and race control just has advised that Tyson McAvoy will be receiving a drive-through penalty for the incident with Scott Callahan. So that's unfortunate for both of those guys. Unfortunately, you know, we don't want to see that sort of stuff because the problem is it doesn't just ruin one race; it tends to ruin both of them, doesn't it?
It does. And especially if you're like Scotty Callahan and if you already used your 2 drop rounds, or he's used at least one of his drop rounds.
He's one of them. I think Scotty's only missed 1 round, Maddie's missed 1 round, so
Sorry, yeah.
we're now into round 5. So it won't cripple his championship, but he was showing some good pace here tonight and obviously had confidence in the car. David Unker here battling hard with Callan Hodgkinson and just able to go a little bit deeper and pass him fairly easier there, as I don't think Callan fought that too hard. But Dave smart enough to put it through cleanly and keep the car free of incident.
Yeah, and with some serious pace too. So he hasn't slowed him down one bit. You can definitely see that's a very great shot to see the difference in pace these guys have got and the exit out of that corner and how big the draft is. Callan Hodgkinson's in the draft here and he's catching him, but you saw how good David Unger's exit at that corner was, and he opened up that gap, and then that draft just puts it in perspective how strong it really is, right?
Yeah, well, we've seen it all series so far that the draft seems to have quite a strong effect. You know, with these cars, even at a couple of the tracks that didn't have big long straights, we were still seeing it in Evident. And then you got a place like this where it's banked and it's all about the draft in oval racing. So these little cars are benefiting. So Dave Ungo, who's got through on Callan Hodgkinson, we can see now Callan closing back up on him under the toe.
That's craziness, isn't it? And I find this quite a difficult section for myself because it's quite a flat track, and as you come down through there and you're flat tack, you're redlining in 6th gear to the end of it, and you have to come all the way down to 3rd to try and get it round that corner, and you have to be very gingerly around it. So
you can see Callan taking a big wide line there, you know, again enabling him to get on the exit and getting on the gas quicker on the exit. So whether or not he maybe needs to tighten up those apexes a little bit, but staying with Dave at the moment. So Dave has got past, but he hasn't been able to jump quite clear. The toe will still be in Evident.
It's nice to be at an American track for once. It's not so bumpy. Yeah, it's got a few bumps through it, but it's not like corrugated iron, so which is good this week.
Well, it's not an airstrip. That's right, like Sebring.
Right. Like Sebring was last week. That was pretty intense.
It certainly was.
Oh, Matty Jones now with almost 24-second lead. What a drive from Matty Jones. Just taking it from the start and just pushed on.
I think that big incident between P2 and P3, and then it's just shaken up the positions behind Matty, and he's been able to stay clear of it all and just drive away. So,
but he hasn't been slow as well. Like he's just perfectly in that 143, mid 143s this whole race, which is super impressive, man. For him to beat that,
it is
in about 3 or 4 tenths, you know.
You know, but yeah, the carnage has all been in his rear vision mirror, so he hasn't really had to think about it at all. So it's all about just driving the car straight and keeping it going. Tyson McAvoy has come out in 6th position now after serving his drive-through. Michael Skurlock has pitted. I think the thing we're going to find, I don't know if Tyson has actually done his pit stop for fuel yet as well. So he may well need to come in again. With some of the guys that have pitted, it does mean that we've got sort of the field is sort of split on a different lap at the moment. So we will keep an eye on that. But so Matty Jones, Scott Callahan,
and Leon Williams are yet to pit.
Callan Hodgkinson yet to pit. Yep, that's right. But I think Tyson you can also include in that because he's served a drive-through. He hasn't pitted yet. And Dave Unger is probably the other one that you could assume at that as well, because David had to serve a drive-through for the incident at the start of the race. So Matty Jones into the pit. having a look. Is this chopper cam or blimp cam? This is blimp cam. Or drone cam, I'm told. Okay, yep. As we sweep around.
That's
got a
cool
nice
spot.
look at the... Alright, so we're going to keep an eye out and see where Matty Jones comes back out. So Stephen Callahan has gone through. So as we said, Stephen has not pitted yet. So Nathan Burney's gone through. Nathan has not pitted either. That pit stop was lap 2 for Nathan. So that was that incident with David Unger. And here's Dave Unger coming through on Matty Jones. But I think Dave's going to have to pit again soon as well. So
he is. So how is he going to play this? How's Dave Unger going to play this? Is he going to try and still make the move and then pit another lap later, or do you reckon he's going to have to pit this lap probably?
Well, I think he's already just got out of it to let Matty back through. I think he's realised that he's already playing with another stop in mind. So it's a battle that not really affecting him. He'll be battling with Stephen Callahan and Callan Hodgkinson and those boys around him at the moment.
Right.
All right, we are on lap 21 of 35, so almost 2/3 of the way through this race, and it has been an action-packed race here, brought to you by DSL Welding Services. Our promo department safety car has already been out on the track tonight, and it's great to have those guys with us, help us bring these pictures to all of you out there and keep the league and the broadcast running. And if you are enjoying the show, make sure you give us a subscribe, hit the like button, share that feed and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the SRW goodness. And this is David Unger making a move around the outside on Matty Jones. So yes, Dave hadn't given up on that. It's just Matty got a great exit, I think, and that's what got him through. So Dave certainly hasn't given up yet.
He's definitely. I think he's still trying to put the pressure
Matty's
on there.
just put the car around side. But look at that car control from Matty Jones there, because that had started to rotate around, and he held that.
That was definitely very nicely pedalled, and he definitely counter steered. You could see the snap oversteer, but he held it really well.
But he also retained the position with Dave biting hard behind him too.
Yeah, very impressive. I think Dave was behind going, oh yeah.
All the snap oversteer there. Yeah. Dave's taking advantage of that.
Bit of curb on the inside of the apex there, but which sent him a bit wide.
Matty's had to give up that position, but now he can drop back in on the toe again and slingshot back past. It's on.
Oh. So cool in these little cars.
He was thinking about getting around the outside and then had a second thought. No, he's going to just drop back. Didn't want to risk going through too wide into the bus stop. Probably a smart thing. Seeing really, I think this battle is... I don't know if Matty would be aware that this battle is on or not.
I don't know. I think he thinks it's just on for young and old, but...
He's just enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm sure he knows that Dave Unger hasn't pit for his actual pit stop yet. So,
but he's had some good battles with he's had some good racing with these boys in the past, and he knows that this is one of his favourites, so I'm sure there's respect there.
Yeah, and Matty might just be having a bit of fun because he's had a bit of a lonely race so far, so it might just be enjoying out there racing before Dave has to go into the pits.
Well, that's right, yeah. This is the closest battle out on track at the moment. Stephen Callahan has gone into the pits, so doing his stop for fuel. So I have to see where that brings him out. At the moment, looks like it's going to bring him out behind Tyson McAvoy. That catapults Tyson up into P5. So this might be a nice battle that will heat up once... Stephen gets those tyres back up to that operating window. Although he probably likely hasn't changed tyres. The fact that you're sitting still for a bit while they get fuel, it just gives the tyres a chance to catch their breath and think sometimes can just give you a bit of life on it coming out of the pits. Matty Jones making a move on the inside here of Dave Unger.
Oh, I know, Dave just
through the bus stop.
Oh, man. That was great.
It's all about it's all about relative speed. You can get up the inside, but if the car around the outside carries a bit more speed into the apex, he sweeps around past you and there's no chance of contact.
Yeah. Oh, look at this first shot on the roll bar. What a great shot here from Shibby, our illustrious producer. What a shot here. Oh, mate, look at that. These guys are just absolute drag race down into turn 1 here, guys. Who's going to make it? Who's got enough balls to play the chicken? Oh, Dave Unger later on the brakes.
But Matty will have a good exit out of there with the wider line. Dave's done well, though. He's held on to that.
Yes, that's very
Stuck up the inside. Oh, you can again see the rear of the car that's trying to rotate. They call that slip angle, just where it opens up the corner a little bit. Something that Michael Schumacher was famous for, and all of the commentators and would talk about his driving style, that he would be doing that every corner, every lap, where he just send it out a little bit enough to flick the car around, rotate it, so that you're pointing straighter on exit and you get on the gas earlier. We can see here that's what both of these boys are trying to do. And at the moment, Nathan Burney sitting out in front, but we think he is yet to do his pit stop for fuel. I love how the camera rolls there, the car rolls. I'm just leaning as we go around this corner. Let me lean,
you know. Doing the same thing. Let's go.
It looks great.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Oh, I'm loving that.
Love you, Chibby. Oh, Shivy telling her that's a new trick he's just worked out. Matty getting a great slingshot through the bus stop there, carrying at least 5 or 10 Ks more than Dave Unger. I think he shifted down there to take advantage of that. He's now got a run.
Rotation, yep.
Dave's trying to keep it down low, forcing him around the outside. The common courtesy here at Daytona is that you don't pass under those yellow lines. And I believe that we may well have a race control directive when it comes to that. I know when you in the officials and that, you go down there and you wouldn't get penalised, but it was considered, you know, bad etiquette to pass under those lines. In a oh, look at this, side by side. Oh, they bumped.
Dave tried to close it, but he couldn't.
Matty's got the job done again with a bit of scraping through there, but some great driving skills shown by both of those guys there. That was awesome, Shibby. You're going to have another look at that, are we? Here we go. Here we go. We'll see how close they go here.
Side from Matty Jones. Oh, Dave was so trying to close it, but
there it is there.
Close as much as he could, but
tiny little bump. But yeah, no, great move, and yeah, good camera angle there, buddy. All right, we are back live, and Matty Jones just opened out a little bit of a gap on Dave, but he's still close enough. He's in that toe. We say it was 0.8. It's now 0.7. It's now 0.6. See how it closes in? Yeah, so our Scott Callahan, looks like Scott's car is too damaged to continue. He's now, 9 laps down, so that's what's happening. So
yeah, he's out of the car. There's no fixing that thing, I don't think.
Unfortunately.
I think it needs a bit more than washing me. I think it needs to fix me on the side of it now.
That's it. All right. Matty has been able to sort of skip out to a second now, so he's now just starting to maybe break that toe. And Dave's now 1.5 back, so that means he's lost the toe now.
And Matty Jones, nice to see the man king back out on the track
Nathan Burney,
again.
something's happened to Leon Williams. That wing looks rather dented. What's happened here? He's just gone deep into the hairpin, and he's just tried to get it turned up, and the car didn't want to rotate. So yeah, it's maybe carrying a little bit too much speed. Well, the problem is you're trying to get the car slowed up, and you just can't do it. Looks like he might have got away without too much damage to that car, but that bent ring is rear wing is going to make it feel a bit ordinary, I think.
Yeah. Definitely. You can see it's only barely hanging on there by the strut brace there, so it's only just by a bit of carbon fibre there by the look of it. Look at that, it's just hanging on.
Well, the problem is that these cars, you're so dependent on that rear grip when you're flicking it through, and then you've got a broken wing that can make it feel ugly. But then again, I managed to drive half a race with a broken wing and didn't know about it, so.
Yeah.
All right, so just going to jump on board, and let's have a look at a lap from Nathan's perspective. We might stay quiet for a moment there, Toddy, and just let the viewers enjoy a hot lap.
Awesome.
It's such a great camera angle, isn't it? When you see the car go up with the full banking, it's one of those things you don't necessarily think it's that steep, but then that looks really, really steep banking when you see that motion of the car.
So cool. Hey, we've got Trevor Jones on the Facebook Messenger as well. He just said, "Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman."
Well, Matty is running fairly clear at the moment here. He has done his pit stop. I'm pretty sure that both Nathan Verney in front and David Unger behind are yet to do their pit stops. Callan Hodgkinson in P4 is also yet to do his pit stop. He's got 23 seconds to Tyson McAvoy back in fifth. So that is going to make it interesting, because we are looking at it's at about a 45 to 56 second transit of the lane. So that's transit time. Pit lane time is between sort of
13 and 16, probably 17.
Yeah, something around then. Yep. So, David Unger's overshot his pit pay by the looks of it, come in a little bit hot.
That's always detrimental. No, that's Matty Jones' pit crew and himself are in mankinis.
Yeah, that's it.
Or in bikinis. He's in a mankini and his pit crew are in bikinis.
Not just bikinis, there's a G-string bikini over there.
Oh, wow. That is not a nice look, is it?
All right, back on board. Stephen Callahan putting the pressure on Tyson McAvoy now. So here's the battle out on track, and he's within a couple of tenths now, right on the back. Both of these cars do look clean and pristine at the moment, so no damage showing. Or making a big dive up the inside there, Stephen. Tyson trying to stick it around the outside. He'll have the inside running for the next corner, and you can see that Stephen has got out of that again, trying to set up the next pass.
That's definitely not where you want Stephen. Not coming onto this straight, hey. Wow, that's definitely not where you want him.
I think, it's one of those things, you try and get it done through the inside sections here at Daytona, and then you've got to make sure you get far enough ahead that you're not, break free of the toe on the guy behind you, because in the end you can see again Stephen closing right up on the back of Tyson here through the fast bank sections. But Tyson had a nice confident bus stop there, just brought it back out. The gap is 0.7 at the moment. But that is not enough to
stop, didn't he?
Well, it's not that enough to break the toe, but again you can see that a bit of confidence through the bus stop there, and you carry some good speed, but it's all for naught when the car behind you still got that draft and can close right back up again. All right, this is Nathan Verney coming out of the pits.
Coming out of the pits for his, that'll be his petrol stop, won't it?
That will be his petrol stop done. So he has come out and looks like he's got about a 5.5 second gap to Tyson McAvoy in third position at the moment. Callan Hodgkinson coming out. That will bring him out in P5. Dave Unger closing up behind him. We just think that this battle might be been a bit closer if, well, it's going to be close anyway. But remember, Dave overshot his pit bay. That might have cost him that fifth position there. Has Callan gone for tyres there? It's only a 13-second stop, so I don't think so.
I just think he's just gone in there, and it's getting to that point of the race that these tyres are probably a bit worn, but the tyre pressures would have gone down a little bit, and tyre warmth would have gone down a bit while he was in the pits as well. So maybe just enough to put him up a little bit.
Well, they're 29 laps old, as you said, mate. So even though we've seen that, it doesn't mean that these cars don't chew up tyres. I don't think they chew them up as much. But I think in all of it, it's more about you can't afford those 2 or 3 laps on cold tyres. It's too hard, too dangerous, and too slow.
Yeah.
So they'd rather drive with the old, worn, well-known rubber than shiny, brand new cold rubber.
Yeah, and you don't want to be stressing like that on cold tyres for the last 3 to 5 laps. That's the last thing you want. We've just got Michelle Bauer on the Facebook chat as well, saying "Go Sim Racer."
Yes, we know this is virtual racing, but it's great fun and it's awesome to be talking about it. I get to spend some times with my mates here at SRW TV and get to watch a few of my racing mates out there have some fun and try to cut up this Daytona 500 track.
Yes, definitely. And make sure you join us for our other streams also, guys, for tomorrow night. We will have our F3s tomorrow night. Thursday night, we have our Porsche GT3 Cup race. We have our Friday, we have Rallycross. And on Sunday night, we have our V8 Super Show. Monday nights, we also have the NAS trucks, which has been really awesome action and a brand new to our season 2 for SRW TV. So it's been a massive contest and lots of action. So make sure you come and join us and hit that notification bell so you can come and watch us pretty much every night of the week, hey, Kelly?
That's it, mate, and all of it thanks to our major sponsor, DSL Welding Services, and the promo department on board. And, they're the reasons we're able to bring this show to the masses and have some fun and talk some shit like we normally do, Toddy.
Yep, absolute legends. We could definitely not do it without you guys, our sponsors, and all you guys out there viewing as well.
So look at that, Tyson just showing nice confidence through the bus stop there, able to carry a little bit more speed. He's right up on the back of Stephen now.
And he's pushing hard, eh? I think he's in it now. He's like, yep, okay, we've got 4 laps to go now, boys. Let's pedal to the metal. Let's push on.
Well, this is it. I mean, we've seen in the NASCAR Oval racing, it's always all about the last lap and the last corner almost. I don't know if it'll quite go down to that sort of wire here. Matty Jones has a 33-second lead at the moment over Nathan Burney in second position. Nathan Burney in second position there.
Wow,
but
he had a great pit stop.
Whoa, he got, unfortunate recipient of Dave's mistake at the start of the race that sort of brought out the safety car, and he's had to fight his way all from the back to put it currently P2. Snap oversteer. And that's Michael Skorlock into the wall.
Too much curb on the inside there. It looks like he got a bit of dirt or something. He's definitely got a wheel off on the inside.
Yeah, that's a tank slapper for sure, and that hurts. Straight into the wall, and these things aren't designed to hit the wall at 150 k's an hour.
Oh no, not when they're and it's a very solid cement wall too. It's not like it's a big tire barrier that might have a bit more give to it. It's just cement,
that's right.
So. There's no forgiving it. As you see in the NASCARs, there's not much left of them once they hit the wall. And they're a much bigger car than these things are, so...
So Stephen has been able to sort of extend that gap over the last half a lap on Tyson. But you can see again the power of that toe bringing him straight back into it again. Tyson has shown that he's got good pace through the bus stop. And you can see again here, sort of trying to get close enough to make an attack. There is only 4 laps or 3.5 laps remaining as Matty Jones has just crossed over the line, 34 seconds in front. So, barring a bad omen from the gods, Matty looks like to have this one sewn up.
He's having a great day. He's had a great day.
Well, he's still lapping in the 43s as well.
Crazy, isn't it? I don't think he's been out of the side of the 43s the whole race, mate. I don't think he's actually been into the 44s.
That would not surprise me at all there, buddy. David Unger, the only other car that's currently lapping in the 43s at the moment. The rest of the guys in the 44s and the 45s. So I think some of these guys are starting to feel the pinch of those tyres.
Tell you what, Stephen Callahan's had a great race. He's been very consistent. He's been most improved this race. He's up 3 positions from his starting position. So, and that's the best out of anyone's done the whole night. So.
And he's been in the mix. He's been in the mix of the battles as well. So he's been. Oh no, Nathan Burney's had a big moment. That's going to bring it closer. That has dropped the gap from about 8 or 9 seconds from second to third to now only about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah,
so
and it's dropping quickly. Ooh,
it is coming down. So we could have a 3-way battle for the last 2 positions on the podium. Tyson remaining close to Stephen. Perhaps Tyson is just, we can just see there, tried to carry a little bit too much speed through the corner and the rear gave on him and it's gone. But he's got it back and going and he's still in P2. So, so far,
push his braking point at the moment. For these last couple of laps, try and push that braking point to try and bridge the gap. But I think he's got enough of a gap now that he just needs to keep that.
Tyson McAvoy back on the hunt. Look at this. He's got a massive run on him down into the bus stop chicane. Or we're talking, onto the main straight. He's looking to go inside into turn 1. No, he's decided to get out of it. I wouldn't be surprised here if Tyson is. I wouldn't be surprised if Tyson is planning that move on the last lap, going for the line there. Knowing what Daytona's like and how strong that toe is. Maybe he doesn't want to get in front of Stephen until the right time.
Yeah, but Shibby's just said something as well. It sounds like Tyson's actually fuel saving there a bit. Or is he not? It seems like short shifting.
Well, it could be possible as well. I mean, sit in behind the other car and it will sort of help your fuel numbers. But I think more than anything, I think it's more about him trying to set up to make the move at the right time. You don't want to make the move and then have him pass you again on the last lap.
400%, yeah. Get a push on and get a good run through.
Now we can see Nathan Burney up ahead there, so these boys are closing in. Nathan Burney is, what are we talking, 3 seconds ahead of Stephen Callahan, and it's a further 0.9 back to Tyson McAvoy. And again, 0.9 seems to still have him inside that toe or slipstream, so he did drop the clutch in then.
He's got Stephen.
Well, he clutched that then, so maybe he's looking to save fuel.
Yeah, he's clutching earlier too, so unless that's just his way of holding his speed through the bus stop there.
The bus stop, could be. Could be something he's been doing all race that just becomes a habit by the end of it.
Well, he has been nailing the bus stop all race, so it might be one of those ones, It might be just...
Very true.
We might have just learnt something,
Well, we see that gap, again, was out to 0.9, and now by the end of the straight, it's up to 0.2, back into 0.2, so just goes to show you how powerful that toe can be. Is he making a move here? He's looking up the inside. Oh, good exit there. Will he try and dart up the inside here into the hairpin? He's going deep. I think Tyson is making up his mind. He's going to take this on.
Oh, he's pushing.
Oh, he's got it done too. That's a great move up there at the hairpin.
He did set that up about a lap and a half ago, didn't he? Good work.
Well, now we're just going to keep an eye on because I'm pretty sure Stephen knows that this is a podium position that Tyson now occupies, and that was his only moments ago, so he's not going to give this up. This will be a fight to the end.
You can see he's pushing hard.
And as long as he stays close, then the toe becomes his friend this lap.
Oh, there we go. Is he going to be able to make it stick, or is Tyson going to be able to make this?
Callan Hodgkinson just went into the pits, so maybe he left it right till the end to do his pit stop for fuel.
Coming into our last lap, guys. Last lap. Here we go. Is Stephen going to be able to make this happen? It might be a drag race to the finish line next lap. What do you reckon, Cowie? With these two?
It's on, mate. It's on. As I said, I thought that Tyson might have been waiting for this exact position himself to be able to slingshot around, get the run through the bus stop, and get it done on the last bend. But now,
Steven's not giving up.
We've again and again that toe seems to be quite dramatic, and it's given these means that it's really hard to break clear of the car behind. Tyson see running a low line there, and you can see here that Stephen trying to sweep around the outside. He's gone in deep. He's going to have a better run out of turn 2, but that little chicane there, Tyson just staying on the inside, forcing him around the outside.
Deep on the brakes on the outside.
Deep. Can he switch back? He's got on the gas. That's a great run from Stephen Callahan here. Tyson forcing him around the outside. Can he stay too wide through this section? Because he will have the inside for the next corner. Oh, looks like he's got it. He's going deep. They go too wide. Tyson. Oh, no. Stephen's just lost the rear and up there, and that might be enough to hand the podium.
There's a bit of a lock-up coming into that last... Oh, come on, wow.
They both were racing hard then, so we'll jump to the front as our race winner, Matty Jones, has done it in style, 42 seconds ahead of the guys behind him. So a supreme drive, obviously benefiting from a bit of the chaos that happened behind him. But last lap of the race, 43.8.
This battle's still on, bro.
Stephen Callahan is closing up after the bus stop. Does he have enough momentum to get up alongside him? We've only got one more corner to go.
Oh, it's like the Daytona 500. Come on, let's go.
Oh.
Drag race to the finish line. Come on, can he make it stick? Stephen Callahan, can he make it? Oh, come on. Is Tyson going to be able to make it back? No, he's not. Whoa, what a move. Wow. Yeah, we had to get all these four boys in tonight. This is incredible. Stephen, what a move. That was so Daytona 500 right there. A little bit of shake and bake at the end there. Got him off his toe there and got him off.
Tyson tried to break it, but Stephen had great momentum coming out of the bus stop, and he swept around the outside. Wow, what a finish.
Beautiful move. Oh, wow. That was impressive. That was some serious cool action. Oh, my heart's beating, man. That's crazy.
So we've had quite an eventful race tonight. Plenty of action, a bit of controversy as well, and then some great action at the end of the race as well. So I don't think we could have asked for any more, Toddy.
Oh, mate, how could you? Like, that was just epic battles. We had some epic battles. We had some incidents early. We saw a safety car. What else did we see? We saw everything this race, man. It was so really, really cool. Like, there was so many battles. There was battle packs, middle battle packs of 4, groups of 4, you know, and then there's a battle pack of 4 at the front there for ages. And these guys have just been battling, especially this battle for this last, you know, really the last 6, 7, 8 laps, really, between Tyson and Stephen. If not the whole race, it's just been this ongoing battle, and it's been awesome to see Stephen Callahan get a podium, because he's actually been pushing towards it for a while. And we thought he might in the last kind of couple of rounds, but we've seen some awesome performances and improvement from him as well. So awesome to see him up on the podium, eh, Kelly?
Yeah, mate, it was awesome. Just trying to put a message out to see if we can get a few of the boys down into the green room.
Got his celebration doughies here from Matty Jones. Oh, look at that 360. Look at that. Come on.
He does enjoy driving these cars, and he's quite fast in them.
Yeah, as we saw today, 43 second.
Yes, it was a great race there, Greg. A small field. It was a pity we didn't have you and Stephen here tonight. It would have been great to have you boys on board. But we'll see if we can get a few of these guys down into the green room. All right, if you want to put up the standings, and Todd, if you want to take that away, I'll go and see if I can have a quick chat to the boys, see if anyone want to come down.
Sweet ass. So, guys, 4-2 night. What a race. What an absolutely insane race. So, Matty Jones had first place there. Matty Jones had a drop round last week, so good to see Matty Jones back. Currently sitting in championship in fourth, but this she'll definitely leapfrog him up the rankings a bit. In the championship standings, Matty Jones winning by almost 43 and a half seconds, essentially, which is craziness. Nathan Burney in second. Got caught up in that earlier incident on the grid, but he made a massive comeback, had a really hey, I think he saved some really good fuel throughout that middle stint, being in the middle pack there, getting the toe, and he ended up having a nice short pit stop, really efficient pit stop, and getting out there and jumping himself back up into second. With Stephen Callahan and Tyson McAvoy, and they had a battle right to the line. Tyson McAvoy almost had him, and Stephen Callahan just got him on the line there. The last little bit of pass and slingshot down the last straight,
finish.
which was just amazing finish. We got Dave Unger in fifth, Dean Sinkovich in sixth with a great drive again. Dean Sinkovich currently fifth in the championship with a sixth place points this week. He should stay around that sort of mid pack, so he's probably sit about the seventh place once these boys like Stephen Callahan and Matty Jones have put themselves back into the fold, I'm sure. Cullen Hodgkinson with another great drive as well. We're seeing some great improvements from him also. Leon Williams for the Locked On lads there. Black Sheep Racing there. Michael Skurlock in ninth. Scotty Callahan in 10th, wrapping out our top 10. Scotty with a very damaged car by the end of it, so he finished the race in the pits there, unfortunately. So
we have
the boys done here.
Yeah, well, look, I'll bring in all of the boys here. We've got Matty Jones, Nathan Verney, and Tyson McAvoy in the room. I was hoping to try and find Stephen there to have a chat with him and Tyson about their battle at the end there. But Matty, mate, it all happened in your mirrors, buddy. You got to drive away and keep it clean.
Yeah, Scott obviously tried to make the power move starting from the back, and the gamble that you play there is that you've got to actually come through the field, and yeah, I think he got into a bit of a scrap there, but no, Tyson kept me very honest there at the start, and then I sort of broke the toe, and
you could see that the toe seemed quite effective. It was probably out to about 1.2 seconds. We could see cars still making that sort of gap back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the toe's massive here. It's probably worth 6 or 7 tenths of a second, like on your lap time. So, you string a couple of good laps together, you're right onto somebody.
Yeah, but we saw you have a nice little battle with Dave Unger when you come out of the pits there, and so at least that would have given you a bit of fun for a few laps. That
was a lot of fun. He hadn't stopped yet, so I think he just wanted to be a nuisance. But no, he put up a real good fight there for a long time.
He probably thought you were lonely out front there, buddy. So.
Wanted to give you some fun for the night.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a great battle. I kept trying to go around the outside of him and at turn 1 there, and I eventually got it done. But it took a lot of commitment. I was hanging on tight.
Now, I wouldn't mind looking at your lap timings for that race, buddy, because I don't think we saw you actually come out of the 1 minute 43s for the entire race, except maybe under the safety car. So, what, you just in the groove, mate? Were you pushing every lap,
Yeah, definitely. I've done the Daytona 24-hour and the LMP2 a couple of times around here, and so I'm pretty well versed in just banging out lap after lap here.
Yeah.
I made a couple of mistakes. There was one really early there that Tyson and I were laughing about. I very, very nearly put it into the fence on I think about lap 3 at the hairpin. So, but yeah, other than that, no, it was just a nice tidy race, I think.
Oh, well, awesome, buddy. Well, what we'll do is before we have a chat to the team boss and Nathan as well, we'll give you a chance to a shout out for our sponsors, and so take it away, Matty, and then we'll have a chat to you, Nathan.
No worries, thanks, Kiwi. Just want a big shout out to West End Motor Group, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Too Easy Finance, Track Racer, Cowie Music, Night Rider Designs, and the Talk to Me Bro Men's Mental Health Initiative.
Awesome, buddy. Yeah, I don't mind hearing those sponsors out there. Rather special one to my heart in the middle of that. Now, Nathan. Well, what is a fairly tumultuous event for you, buddy? It all started before you got the car going.
Yeah, just look at that now. I know that we was actually talking in the Discord on about, is this gonna spin up on the start? It's on an angle here, like maybe there'll be something, but so we took it a bit cautious. But yeah, it seems like those that can do the real fast starts, had a bit of a lit up the tyres a bit. Yeah, it was all over.
Well, yeah, look, we had a couple of the guys saying in the comment, it's actually sort of one of the things standing start on a banked track means the car has a tendency for the rear of the car wants to go down to the bottom of the track. And we think that's what maybe caught Dave out. But the safety car gave you a chance, a second go at it. Did you have to use your fast repair there?
Yeah, I did. Which I'm very thankful that this series allows a fast repair for a start. But I was a bit worried. Just seeing everyone else sort of go off and use theirs later on in the race, that I was going to find myself do the same thing. But luckily kept it enough on the tarmac to get back with the lucky one.
Were you close enough to see any of the carnage that happened up in front of you, buddy?
No, I wasn't. Around the bend from me. It was good to go past some cars stricken on the side of the road. That's for sure. Always helps.
Well, you were right. You were in amongst it there, buddy. And again, it's a great recovery drive. I mean, obviously, would have been a bit harder had they not made their mistakes to finish P2. But you're starting to get the handle on these cars. They just seem to be tricky, and when you think you're on top of them, they decide to just kick you in the butt and let you remind who's boss, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think Stephen Callahan's probably my kryptonite. Anytime I got near him, I just went to pieces. Whether he was coming up behind me or I was just about to pass him, would just lose the back end or something. So I'm hoping to stay away from him a bit longer in the next races.
Well, I was hoping to get Stephen down here in the room, but it doesn't look like he's in the Discord chat tonight. Oh, okay, so apparently Shibby's behind the scenes trying to get Stephen in here, so we will hopefully try and have a chat with him. But Nathan, a great P2 drive, buddy, so let us know about the sponsors for Locked On Lads and who's looking after you.
Yeah, great. Thanks to Locked On Lads TV and podcast for all your Australian iRacing news, and for Barista Coffee. Check that out if you want to find out where to get a coffee in your local area. And thanks to Sheepy, Leon Williams, my teammate, for the great livery, and to Michael Skillock, the BMX Bandit, for the encouragement around the last few laps.
Awesome. Now, we brought in our P4 driver, Tyson McAvoy, the team boss. Stephen's just made it as well, so let's drag him in too. Stephen, have you got us there, buddy?
I believe I do. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we got you now, buddy. So I've got both you and Tyson in. Mate, great P3 battle for you two the last couple of laps. Talk us through it. You can both talk, by the way. Just take it in turns. Go, Steve.
I was surprised to find myself up near him at the front, so yeah, happy with that. I think I got lucky with him on fuel saving, so otherwise I do not have a place band where I was tonight.
Is that the gist of it, Tyson? We saw you clutching going into the bus stop. Was that something you had to keep doing to make sure you had enough to get home, buddy?
Yeah, I had to save at least a lap of fuel, and it was pretty tough. Like my fuel numbers for some reason were wrong, and I was probably 2 litres gets you is a lap, so I was a lap and a half off my fuel numbers. So yeah, it was pretty annoying clutching it, but got to have a good battle, and that's why we're here, I guess. So Steve, kudos to you, good respect, bro, and well on the podium.
Cheers, mate. Yeah.
You were right in amongst it. Nathan was just saying before you got in the room, he reckons that you're his kryptonite. Anytime you guys were together on track, he ended up doing a soft spin where you're using superpowers on him, buddy.
Oh, I wish it was that simple, but yeah, he's quick, man. I just need one more spin out of him in the race and I'll have him. Otherwise, I don't have him on pace.
There's 3 laps to go. That kryptonite worked, so well done, Steve, because Nathan did have a spin there, so I saw that.
You saw your gap that you had there, Nathan, sort of disappear, but you were able to just get back on it. Didn't rattle you too much, buddy?
Yeah, no, it was enough of a buffer that I knew I could have one spin and be all right. 2 would be a problem.
Oh, you had it in the bank, okay. Nah. Well, it's great to see that you've jumped on the chat here, Stephen. Just had to sort some Discord stuff out for you, buddy. But give us, have you got any sponsors there you want to give a shout out to? And we could ask, are you and Scotty related? Because we keep meaning to ask Scotty the question and keep forgetting.
No, can't say I am. I've first time I've seen him on here, yeah. So no relation and no sponsors. All the stickers are on my car are make believe. So yeah, thanks to my mind.
Oh, awesome, buddy. Well, you know, Jen, you can have the most fun in your own mind. So I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. And it was great racing tonight. Good battles out there on track. Only a small field, but we've got to make fun of what we've got, and you guys turned it up. So it was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I had a blast.
It was awesome. But Steve as well, bro. I just want to make a big shout, man. You defended well, and you know I wasn't going to let you take that piece very easy, and you defended pretty well, and then you attacked those last few laps like, you know, you had the speed. So well done.
We thought you might have been trying to save yourself for the slingshot at the finish there as well, Tyson, but obviously, you know, your fuel numbers didn't let you do that.
Yeah, it was on the last lap. I thought I've got to pass him and then push, because the toe is going to be powerful, or do I sit behind and try and pass him? I didn't want to run the risk, so I was like, I'm just going to pass him, save the fuel on the last lap and try and push and hope that I didn't cough. And as we saw, I coughed. So.
Well, it almost worked, buddy. So, but you enjoy driving these cars, won't they? They can be a tricky little thing, can't they?
Well, as we can see, like as soon as I get to a track that I'm familiar with, like I've got speed, but all those other tracks we've been doing the last 2 weeks that I've never been to before, yeah, I was left in the dark. But also just want to say to Scott, like, we had a little bit of a touch tonight. Like, I'm here to race and race hard, and you know I would never give anybody a spin on purpose. I'm a nice bloke, so yeah, if you're listening, bro, like, my bad for a little bit of netcode contact, but again, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, look, we never meet her, mate. I had one myself on Sunday, if you remember correctly. So these things do happen when we're trying to race hard, and I think, you know, let's hope that you know, Scotty's back next week. There's I think you would enjoy the battle. Well, sorry, Matty's left the room. I was going to ask him. He would be loving the fact that Scotty's in the championship here, because those two boys are showing supreme pace in these cars. All right, Toddy, you got any questions for the boys before we wrap up for the evening?
No questions. Just big kudos for that epic battle at the end, boys. It's awesome to see Steve, Mr. Callahan, getting what you deserve. You've had some awesome improvements over the last couple of rounds, so it was awesome to just see you consistent laps and just smash it through and get the podium in the end. So well done, man.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, my main goal this season is just to stay out of trouble. I've been off for sort of 2 years. It's taking the rust off this year, so I'm happy to get that.
So we've got big things to keep a lookout for, buddy, hey, as you break that rust off and get everything working again. So we should hopefully see you and get to have a chat to you a bit more this season, mate.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Alrighty, guys. Well, that will wrap up our coverage of round 5 of the SRW V8 Radical American Invasion here on SRW TV. It's been awesome having you with us. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the like and the follow button so you don't miss out on any of the action. On behalf of tonight's management and broadcast team here at SRW TV, Chef Toddy on Toms and our producer Nathan Shibby behind the scenes, this is Cowie, your average sim racer, signing off saying good night, and we look forward to seeing you next time on SRW TV.
Much love and keep safe, legends.